What's going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a vinyl haul showcasing all of the records that I picked up which came out as part of this year's Record Store Day Black Friday in 2019. I know I am extremely late with this video. When I did my Pink Floyd Later Years unboxing, I had mentioned that I had to do it while on break at work since I do work retail and it is Black Friday, so it was a very busy, hectic day, so I did not have a chance to go to my local record store. But also, on the other hand, the record store that is closest to me, where I do my record store vlogs, decided on not to get any exclusive pressings for Black Friday, so that pretty much reduced my chances of getting those records in person completely, unless I decided to go to Philly or some other indie record store that was in north or middle of Jersey, which I was not going to do. So I was pretty much relying solely on Discog sellers, and I was pretty much checking the listings for the records that I wanted almost like every half hour while at work, just to see if it was at a justifiable price point. And luckily I knew what to spend, because bullmoose.com, which is a retailer based up in the Northeast, will post their Black Friday titles on the website with the suggested retail price, so I kind of knew what to spend and what not to spend when it came to sellers just unloading these records on their profiles. So I did not pay flipper prices. I paid exactly what these records would have regularly gone for, and this year's list was not as big as this year's regular Record Store Day, which I think was a blessing, because this year's regular Record Store Day in April was, I think, the best ever. It was just a fantastic list of releases. So luckily they were rather forgiving by having my want list be just about 5 titles. So enough of the chit chat. Let's jump into what this video is all about. So the first record that I was able to snag is one that I was actually anticipating ever since this came out regularly on CD, DVD, and Blu-ray, which was, I want to say, last year. And that is The Doors, live at the Isle of Wight Festival in 1970. This is pretty much the last professionally recorded and filmed Doors live show. It's a rather interesting gig. They played like in the wee hours of the morning, and since every act was filmed for various documentaries and films and whatnot, the Doors opted to not have the big white movie spotlights on them. They just played with this kind of very ambient red light. Kind of adds a little bit of a spookiness vibe to their performance, but it is a rather tight performance overall. You get pretty much the standard set list of stuff that they were doing at the time. You get your Backdoor Man, Break On Through, Ship of Fools, which is on Morrison Hotel, Roadhouse Blues, Light My Fire, The End, all that stuff. Now this pressing is limited to 11,000 copies, and it is numbered, and as you can tell, I have copy number 4,483. Just a basic single sleeve. We have photos of the band's performance here, along with a little brief write-up of the show. 2 LP sets. I'll showcase the vinyl. Standard black, but nice heavyweight vinyl. Nice custom labels as well. Very nice. This was pressed over at MPO and mastered by Bernie Grundman. I have not had a chance to play any of my Record Store Day Black Friday titles yet. I'm still processing through a bunch of other records that I got at the same time. So I'll showcase the other one. It's pretty much the same across the board, but I figured I'll just show it. There we go. Very, very nice. But yeah, like I said, this first came out on CD, DVD, and Blu-ray last year, and I was actually kind of shocked that they did not do a vinyl pressing for this when it first came out. So I suppose saving it for a Record Store Day event was rather smart, because every year, let's face it, the Doors always pull something off. Last year for Black Friday, they did a red vinyl pressing of American Prayer. They did the London Fog recordings from earlier this year, so it's cool that they pulled this out on vinyl for Record Store Day. And the next record I'm going to show you guys is one that was rather high on my want list this year. And for a while, I was aware that this thing was coming out, but at the same time, I had no idea when it was coming out. And it all kind of dates back to August of this year. I had attended the Rush La Cinema Strangiato event at the closest theater within Jersey. And they were running some vignettes and ads for various Rush products that were coming out this year, going into next year. And they showed an ad for the Clockwork Angels Tour vinyl box set, which I had found out about a couple days prior. News had leaked out on a Rush fan site, and I had pre-ordered it on Amazon. But then I saw an ad for this particular release, and I thought this was going to be interesting because this is an album that I haven't listened to in a very long time. I think I've only listened to it a handful of times a couple years back. So I thought maybe getting this vinyl version of it will perhaps refresh my ears and perhaps it'll resonate, this time around. And that is Geddy Lee's My Favorite Headache. This is his first and only solo album. This came out back in 2000. This was pretty much when Rush was on hiatus due to the events that occurred in Neil Peart's life. So both Geddy and Alex did solo albums within that downtime. I believe Alex did his back in like 97. It's the Victor album, 97, 98. And then Geddy followed suit. This is the first time that it has ever been released on vinyl, and this is limited to 5,000 copies. And what's really cool with this release is that it comes with a bonus side or bonus tracks, which are essentially instrumental versions of the title track and Home on the Strange. So the artwork is faithfully replicated. Here's Geddy right there. Here's the gatefold sleeve. All your artwork is faithfully replicated. I have the original CD version, which came out in 2000. It's part of my parents' CD collection. We have a nice little insert here, which is exclusive to the vinyl version. This is not in the CD. We have bass guitars and bits of memorabilia, such as CDs, photos, lyrics, and whatnot. We have printed inner sleeves here. This is the lyrics here. And then the credits on this side. Nice heavyweight black vinyl. And we have nice custom labels here as well. And then we also have more artwork and such on the other printed inner sleeve as well. Take the record out, show you what it looks like. Very good stuff. So I'm very excited to be listening to this album for the first time in a while. And like I said, perhaps listening to it on vinyl and taking it all in will make it click, as they say. And I think that's kind of strange to say because Rush is one of my favorite bands and Geddy is one of my favorite vocalists and bassists. But regardless, this is absolutely going to be a great listen. And up next was probably the number one thing on my want list this year. And something told me that this might be kind of hard to come by because this release alone kind of went for somewhat of a high price tag, sort of. And just something told me that it might, kind of be hard to obtain or pay out the wazoo. And luckily I was able to get it for the average price, which was around $30. And that is Alice Cooper, Billion Dollar Babies Live, April 73, Houston, Texas. This is a live recording from the tour for the Billion Dollar Babies album, which was essentially the height of the powers of the original Alice Cooper band. The most notable studio album, absolutely extravagant tour. There's a concert film from this tour. I think it's called It's Good to See You Again, Alice Cooper. Just a absolutely crazy stage show. And this is the first time that the show has ever seen a vinyl release. However, it has been released prior. The deluxe CD version of Billion Dollar Babies, which Rhino put out around the early 2000s, includes, I think it's bits and pieces of this show, if not all of this show. And it's cool that they did a vinyl release for it. I like how the cover has a nice sort of, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but it has like a nice shiny gold foil look to it. Same with the back. Really, really nice. And this comes with one basic 12-inch LP. Nice custom label. There's Alice as Medusa there. Nice pressing. And we also get a bonus 7-inch of the Encores, which I'll take out. And there you go. And this is also limited to 6,000 copies. And also, I forgot to mention, the Geddy Lee album, I believe, was limited to 2,000. So it's a really low number, so it's really cool that I was able to get that. And keeping on trend with the Alice Cooper stuff, there was another Alice Cooper album which came out, reissued as part of this year's Record Store Day Black Friday. This was one that I was not going to be heartbroken if I was not able to get my hands on it, mainly because of how low the amount of copies were pressed were. This is limited to 1,500, and this is an album / period that I'm really curious on. It's later period Alice stuff. This is Dragontown. Now, this came out back in 2001. Between this album and the one that came out prior, which was called Brutal Planet, Alice was really embracing this more heavier, darker, almost industrial sound, and it was kind of before he kind of went back to his roots with things like The Eyes of Alice Cooper and Dirty Diamonds. So E1 Entertainment decided... Oh, wait. Entertainment One, I should say. Reissued this. Nice 2 LP set. Here's the artwork. I do have to say, the artwork kind of looks a bit grainy when it's scanned. I don't know if they were just working with the best possible sources, but it looks alright. Nice gatefold sleeve. Also, this side right here is all the lyrics. I'm gonna need... I mean, I have young eyes, but I'm gonna need a magnifying glass to read those lyrics as I listen to this. And this is pressed on orange vinyl, which is very nice and vibrant. Looks very good. Nice custom labels. And there's also a download card in this as well, so you can rip that to your laptop, put it on CD for the car, whatnot. I'll showcase the other one. There we go. Very nice stuff. Alright, and last but not least, this is a rather cool release, and this was an absolute must-have because it is the founding member and original guitarist of my favorite band of all time. And it's cool to see a bit of an older release come out from this guy, and that is Space Ace, Mr. Ace Frehley. This is Frehley's Comet Live. This is a 6-track live release, which brings together material that was recorded over at the Hammersmith Odeon back in 1988. The audio on this release was first released on a live video, which was called Live Plus 4, I want to say. So it was live concert footage and 4 music videos, which came out at the time on the various Frehley's Comet albums. I believe the audio content has been released prior, like on CD, on various compilations like 12 Picks and Greatest Hits Live. So it's cool that they did a nice vinyl version. I absolutely love the cover. There's Ace with a smoking guitar, and it kind of keeps in trend with the cover of the video, which is on the printed inner sleeve, which I'll show. Here's the back, and we get classic Ace stuff here. We have Breakout, which is a great tune off of the Frehley's Comet album. Rip It Out, which is on his 78 album. Kiss classics like Cold Gin, Shock Me, and Rocket Ride. Just amazing stuff. And Ace Frehley never disappoints. That's why, out of all of the original Kiss member solo stuff, Ace is always the go-to one for me. Printed inner sleeve here. This is kind of like the advertisement for the video. And here is the cover for that video that I mentioned, Live Plus 4. And this as well, which was put out by Entertainment One, is also on orange vinyl, which is essentially the same as the Alice Cooper one. Nice custom labels there. Very good stuff. This is going to be a rockin' listen indeed. So there you guys go. That is my vinyl haul of records that I acquired, which came out as part of this year's Record Store Day Black Friday in 2019. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the record spinning.